Welcome to the Survivor to Thriver show with your happiness expert, Samia Bano. Do you feel stuck, silent, and stressed all the time? Is something hurting your heart and soul? Are you burning yourself out? Then you're in the right place, because this is the podcast people from all over the world join in to learn exactly how to stop suffering and start living with inner peace and joy. Let's get started. We are continuing with the theme of what's on Samia's mind today. That's what we are going to be talking about. So what's on my mind today is that I woke up and it's a wonderful day. And you may say, why is it such a wonderful day today, Samia? And I will tell you, because I choose for it to be a wonderful day. And this is like a great reminder that I've been giving myself for the last few days, especially. You know, it's part of my everyday morning routine. It's something that I learned to do with my happiness coach, Dr. Amy. She was one of the people. When I met her, I had learned to create and maintain inner peace in my life. And I thought that was just great. And it is, you know, especially if you're coming from a background like mine, where I spent so much of my life struggling to heal and craving inner peace, to get to a place where I knew how to create and maintain my inner peace. That was a truly wonderful place to be. But when I met my happiness coach, Dr. Amy, she taught me how to go beyond even just being able to create and maintain inner peace. She taught me how to live the joy. You know, and it's not that I had never experienced joy before. Of course I did, just like we all do. But it's a matter of control, right? Control over our well-being, control over our emotions. Did I know how to create and maintain that experience of joy at will? No, I didn't. I felt joyful when something happened outside of me that stimulated that joyful experience in most cases. And so when that experience or that stimulation was removed, so was the joy. But with Dr. Amy, I learned how to also create and maintain a joyful state of being for myself. And one of the key skills that is required for this process is to recognize that it is in fact a choice that we can make. We don't have to wait for outer stimulation to experience anything. We can create the conditions to experience anything that we need. Whether it's inner peace or joy or love, happiness. Hey, you can even create the conditions to experience negative emotions in your life if you so desired. I don't know why you'd want to, but you could. You know, the common experience that people have is that our emotions are in control of us. And for a long time, that was the case for me. That was the reality of my being, was that my emotions controlled me. But I knew that I did not like that. For me, because I'm a survivor of child sexual abuse, going through that experience of abuse took away my sense of power and control. And so as I embarked on my journey to healing, it was really, really important for me to get back my sense of power and control. And one of the most important ways in which I craved and desired and wanted to be able to have power and control in my life was in the context of my emotional life. I wanted to be able to experience the inner peace I craved and not, and do it at will versus being at the mercy of my emotions as I was. And so it's like such a great skill to have, but we need to create an intention. Like anything that we want to have in life, if we are going to successfully accomplish that goal, that vision, acquire what it is that we want to acquire, we must focus on it with intention and focus our time and energy and go after it in a very deliberate way. See? Because otherwise it's all up, like left to chance. And what are the chances that you're just going to happen to learn how to control your mindset, how to control your emotional experiences? The chances of that happening are very, very, very slim. That it's just going to happen. Why? Because, for one thing, for you to learn how to do that, you have to have somebody to teach you how to do that. You have to be in an environment where that is part of the common experience. That is something that is being lived, at the very least, if not being explicitly taught. So that if it's being lived and you are seeing it being lived, you can learn by example. You can absorb that way of being and follow the model, follow the example, and thereby, make it a part of how you are as well. But how many of us are lucky enough to be around people like that, to be in environments where people know how to manage their emotions, where people are in control of their emotions and their emotions are not in control of them? Now you may say, okay, well, but look, we are in control of our emotions. In an everyday context, if you're in a workplace or in your family, yes, absolutely, we're all managing our emotions. That's why, things come up in our life, and, we're not, if the vast majority of us didn't have a certain level of basic competency in terms of managing our emotions, my gosh, things would be in total chaos. So I'm not saying that we are completely lacking any ability to manage our emotions, but it's about the level at which we are able to do that, the level of control that we are able to establish when it comes to our emotional experience, right? For the vast majority of us, we are doing a pretty good job of it, and it helps us to get through our everyday life. But for most of us, our ability to manage our emotions is not great. It's not at a level where we can say, I can choose to be happy. I can choose to experience inner peace or joy or contentment or whatever it is that I want, regardless of circumstances. For most of us, that is not the reality, that is not the truth. And in fact, if the research numbers are to be believed around this, only about 1% of the population actually has the skill of being able to say honestly and authentically that this is in fact my lived experience, that I can choose to be happy, that I can choose to be at peace, I can choose to be joyful regardless of my circumstances. Because that is, wow, I mean, that requires above normal, above average, an above average level of competency and mastery over our emotions and emotional states. And if you're going to achieve mastery, which is what we are talking about, then you cannot achieve mastery without focus and attention and, even being willing to, go through a bit of a struggle so that because anytime you're going to achieve mastery towards something, there's going to be a learning curve. And when there's a learning curve, some struggle is very natural. That it is just naturally going to be there, right? Because you're learning something new, you're learning something challenging. So are you willing to put in that time and energy and willing to engage with that struggle that is required for your learning and growth? That is the big, big question. But in this case, just think of the reward that you get for putting in that time and effort to engage in the struggle. You get to be in control of your emotions. You get to experience inner peace and joy and happiness in your life regardless of what's happening around you. You get to be in charge. Is that something that you want? I know it was something that I really, really, really wanted in my life. It was so important to me. So I focused on it and I have achieved it. I'm so grateful and blessed to be able to say that. I'm not saying this to show off. I'm sharing this with you so that you realize, you recognize what is possible. This is possible. This is possible. Most people don't even realize that it's possible. And so they cannot focus on it. They cannot aim towards it as a goal, as part of their vision for their life. And I know, for a long time, I wasn't, I wasn't coming from, I was aiming towards it, but it wasn't coming from a place of a vision of what I knew was possible. For me, it was driven by a great need to solve the big problem that I was struggling with in my life, which was I felt out of control and I couldn't bear it. I couldn't bear feelings out of control, because for me that was part of what kept the sense of trauma and pain and suffering around my experience so alive for me. So I knew that I couldn't bear to not be in control. And so I started, I didn't know if it would be possible for me to be in control, but it was just something that I just had to do the best I could to strive to achieve, because I knew that the current situation as it was at that time wasn't acceptable. So you may have a very different reason or motivation for why you decide to make this commitment to achieve mastery and excellence. But you must make it if you are going to achieve it. So my question to you is, are you ready to make this commitment? Are you ready to make this commitment? If you are ready, yay! Awesome! And I want to tell you, I'm here. I'm here to help you and support you through that process. And, oh, hey, you know what? This reminds me, one really easy step that you can take if you're ready to make this commitment, and you are making this commitment, please do connect with me. And one really easy way you can do that is, I've been telling you, hey, actually just yesterday, we did our free online training on the Survivor to Thriver formula. And if you missed it, good news, I'm going to be doing an encore. And the encore presentation is coming up this coming Tuesday, which is March 24th at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So you can, again, just go to my website at www.academyofthriving.com, click on the free online training tab, and register for the encore presentation that's coming up. And you will really, really be happy that you have registered and that you showed up for that training, because I'm going to be telling you exactly what it takes for you to stop suffering and start living with inner peace and joy. And that requires mastery. That requires control over your mental, emotional well-being, right? So you are just committing to gaining that mastery. So you need to get on that training so you can learn exactly what is needed for you to accomplish that vision and goal for yourself. Let me help you and support you in that process. Don't try to reinvent wheels. Learn from my experience. Benefit from my wisdom. So go to my website, academyofthriving.com, click on the free online training tab and register, and then show up. And I look forward to connecting with you on that training. It is going to be interactive. So I look forward to that interaction with you. That is not possible when we're connecting via podcast, because, hey, you get to listen to me, but I don't get to listen to you. So I'm looking forward to that training. And until we connect next time, I wish you lots of peace and joy.